Last week I ran my first official marathon in 2 hours, 39 minutes and 27 seconds with just 22 months of running experience. In this video I'm going to be explaining my 4 pillars to success and how I've achieved that. I don't want to be speaking about the training program in this particular video. The main reason is I've made numerous videos in the past explaining how I was intending to run a sub 2 hour 45 marathon. If you want to see my training plan videos, by all means you can go and watch those videos after you've watched this one. It's not my intention to be boastful or braggadocious. I want there to be some value for you to be able to take out. And in fact, I'm approaching this video with the mindset of I'm explaining this to my past self that had no running experience and showing him, or me, little Jimmy, I'm showing him basically, look mate, I've done this is how you can do it too. That was pretty condescending, wasn't it? If you're new to the channel, I'm James Ward, so let's get into the video. I'm not going to be going over my training program of how I became a sub 2 hour 40 championship level runner within just under 2 years of running experience. There's no point having a training program now if you are not going to fulfill your training plan. If you get injured, that's something a little bit different. But my first point is consistency. To, I think, a lot of people's surprise, I would say 25% to sometimes 50% of the amount of runs that I do in a week, I do not want to go out on a run before I go out in a run. It's a battle in my head for me to get out there. I sometimes put stories on my Instagram like, I don't want to go out running today. And it's the absolute truth. I might be lying in bed or I come back from work after a bit of a stressful day and I sit down for a bit, I'm scrolling through Instagram and I'm just procrastinating going out on a run. But I go out and I do it anyway. I force myself to get up and go out and do it. The reason why I do this is because I'm aware of the importance of momentum. The reason why momentum is so important because it's so difficult to build the momentum back up. But when you have it on your side, it's so much easier to keep doing your training plans or to keep going out and exercising day in, day out. Even doing like your recovery days, you're still going out and doing it. The momentum's in your favour. I feel like momentum can happen on a day-to-day basis, which I think the reason why starting your days is so important. Like, I don't look at my phone for the first 1 hour of a day, and the reason why I do that is because I don't want that dopamine hit or that negative hit of dopamine straight away, because it puts my mind in this lazy mood, a mind that wants its instant gratification and not wanting to work for anything. Those days where that might be one run a week where it's looking like I'm not going out on a run, but I'd still do it anyway. And the reason why I think those runs are so important, now you might think that as, okay, I've only gained 1 day of running, but actually I believe if you look over a significant period of time, say a year, potentially that day could lead to a month or two, you know, because that might start a negative spiral then. If you miss one day, then guess what? You're going to be much more likely to miss the next day. So that's my first main reason as to why I feel like I've had so much success within running so quickly is consistency. My second pillar is going to be adaptability. As I previously touched on, what happens if you get injured? Now, if you followed my channel for a long time, you'd be well aware that I've had a few injuries that have actually put me off from training. And the reason why I think adaptability is so good, because what happens if you have an injury, then you need to know, okay, well, what do I do now? At least I have a little bit of experience now. So to be honest, it is a little bit easier because I've had injuries in the past. For example, when I ran my half marathon in 1 hour 17, about 6 months ago now, when I ran that, I was battling an injury, but I'm so glad that I ran that half marathon anyway. And the reason for why I didn't change my date, I could have changed the date, it was off my own back, was because I wanted the experience of having a deadline and being injured but still having to make a deadline. And that was so beneficial in hindsight, because for this marathon that I just recently ran, guess what? I was battling an injury. I was having this tendonitis in my Achilles and I had a calf strain as well. My peak week, for example, I didn't fulfill it. I couldn't do my peak week. I was asking my body to do too much and I was getting injured. I was ramping my training up too quickly and my body wasn't used to doing that mileage. So For me, I'm trying to run like the type of people who have ran for years, but because I haven't ran for years, my ligaments, my tendons and my joints aren't as strong as someone that gradually built up their aerobic base. Because I'm trying to run a lot of miles and doing it in a relatively short period of time, I was getting injured. But because I had that need and that want and that desire to do that, that was why I was getting injured, and I was operating, if you like, towards the limitations of my body. I got injured and I adapted. I said to myself, okay, well, I can't do my peak week, but I still got to trust the process. So I missed my peak week, or I didn't miss it completely, but I didn't fulfill it anywhere near towards the amount that I wanted to do. And then I had a couple long runs that I missed, but I changed my training program, and I changed it, and I thought, okay, well, instead of just going sulking, like, oh, I can't do my training now, I said, well, maybe if I give myself 2 days off, on those 2 days off, I went to the sauna, I iced my leg 3 times a day, I had an ice bag in the freezer at work, and I was taking it out and icing my leg. That's how much, like, that's how serious I was. But if I wouldn't have done that, then maybe I wouldn't have been able to get an extra day's running in. And this sounds very, very simple, but I actually think this is one of the hardest things to do, because when you get injured, again, it goes back to the momentum thing. Your momentum then can be halted. So to make sure you don't lose momentum, instead of just going out and drinking, you know, saying like, oh, well, I can't run, like, I changed my mindset where I kept the momentum going. So okay, I can't run, but what I can do, I can roll out for half an hour, and I can go in a sauna for half an hour on a night, and I can ice my leg for 3 times a day. I adapted, and my recovery was quicker, so that I could get more running in the weeks in the build up to my 2-hour 45 marathon attempt. The next pillar, or pillars, are kind of fused, but I'm going to break them into 2. Number 3, ladies and gentlemen, we have attitude. And number 4, well, you're going to have to wait for that one, but you'll see. And what I mean by attitude is having a willingness to, or a desire for self-improvement. Now, this attitude is a lifestyle thing. It is something that I believe you can adopt this mindset with anything you want to do, and it's an attitude of understanding that discomfort or feeling uncomfortable with something is absolutely necessary if you want to improve in anything. In running terms, it is understanding that the pain of running, especially when I'm doing my faster paced interval runs, it's very, very uncomfortable, but I learn to actually enjoy that discomfort, you know, because I understand that I need that discomfort for me to get better. Attitude is so important. Every single day, going in there, putting your phone on flight mode if you're going in the gym, in just getting after it, you know, doing everything you can in order to be able to get the most out of each individual training session that you do. Going in there with an attitude of understanding that you need this pain or discomfort for you to progress, and that can mean any context you want to do. Public speaking, for example, like I used to be an awkward mess when I was public speaking in school, but now I feel like I could do it so much better because, okay, I'm nervous, I'm getting a little bit of imposter syndrome potentially, you know, but I'm going out there, and instead of me thinking that the nerves or this doubt is a negative thing, I'm going, no, this is where I need to be. If I'm not getting nerves, then guess what? I'm not improving because I'm too comfortable. I need these nerves if I want to get better, and that goes for anything in life. Unfusing pillar number 4 is mindset. Now, this mindset I want to speak about, particularly the mindset of which I was going into the marathon. So I explained this on an Instagram post, and the reason why I did it, I appreciated some people would look at that and go, who the f does this guy think he is? But I wanted to be transparent, and I thought it would mean more me explaining my mindset before I achieved what I believed in my head I absolutely would achieve. I feel like doing that before it would hold more value because then it comes across as more genuine. So I explained on this Instagram post where my mindset was at, but another benefit to me explaining that, there's 2 benefits to that. The first, most obvious one is doing some sort of public accountability. By me telling people I'm not going to quit, my ego's involved then, and I don't want to look stupid, so I'm not going to quit. That's the most obvious one. But the second one is, when I felt like I was writing that Instagram post out, it might have taken me like an hour to write it, genuinely, but also me writing it out, I'm putting it in a way where I can articulate how I want to approach this marathon and do it in a logical sense and not an egotistical sense. And I felt like I would be more egotistical if I didn't write it or didn't say it in public. But because if I'm doing it in public, then I'm going to be more likely to write it in like a manner of which going to make sense, a logical manner, because I don't want to look stupid. Writing that, it actually showed me how I wanted to go into this race and approach my mindset. Different sports are different, but I've watched a lot of white collar boxing over the past couple of years because a few of my friends have competed in it. And one thing that you mainly see in martial arts when people are starting, especially if it's their first fight, they'll go out in the first round, and because they've got a lot of nerves, a lot of adrenaline, they'll go out there and just start throwing crazy, you know, like windmilling. But then guess what? After the first round, the adrenaline dump's gone, and then they're throwing punches like this. I've got absolutely nothing in the tank. It explains it better in martial arts, but it's also very similar for running. You know, you might be starting off and you have this nervous energy. Like I had these nerves before I went out and run, but my body knows how to process that now. It's like, okay, we're on now, we're about to go. Touching on the adrenaline dump, when I go into this marathon, the mindset I have is the first few kilometers of the run, I know I'm going to be nervous, I'm going to have that nervous energy, but I don't want to burn it too quick, because guess what? I'm going to have an adrenaline dump, and then I'm going to become fatigued in a race. So I start off slow, even though my body wants to go. I don't. I take my time, start off slow, I don't shoot out the blocks, and then I go out through the marathon and I try and have a stoic mindset. A stoic mindset, or stoicism, basically means adopting a mindset of you can only control what you can control. You know, something that is a good example of stoicism might be, I might be getting stressed about my views or the amount of likes a video has on YouTube, but I can't control ultimately who clicks that like button, who clicks that share button. I can only control making the best possible content, and this goes for my running. I can only control being the best possible version of myself on race day. So again, I start slow, have this stoic mindset, and I say to myself, this might sound absolutely batshit crazy, but I want to be completely transparent and honest. So one of my favourite boxers of all time, Mike Tyson, he used to get hypnotised as a 14-year-old kid, and his trainer at the time, Cus D'Amato, who was like a father-like figure to him, he would say this affirmation in his head when he was getting hypnotised. And as he was hypnotising, I imagine like young Mike's like this, right? And then he's like, I don't exist, the task exists. So young Mike's like, I don't exist, the task exists. I'm a moron. But basically this affirmation is like an ego death. It is like a stoic mindset. I don't exist, the task exists. But I really like this affirmation, and the reason why I like it is by saying I don't exist, it's cancelling my ego, the task exists. So don't let your ego get the better of you. You know, you're not special, and give your best possible chance that you have of succeeding. So again, adopt this stoic mindset. I don't go out the blocks too quickly. I take my time. All I'm focusing on is making sure I'm sticking to my pace, and every half an hour I'm getting my supplements in on time. And that's all I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on, oh God, can I do it? I'm a third way through the run now, and then, you know, I hate that way of thinking, because if you're thinking I'm a third the way through the run, you're subtly telling yourself, I don't want to be here. I'm a third the way through it, then I can relax. No, that's not what I want to say. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this pain. And when I was going through the run, and I was seeing maybe around mile 20, mile 21, 22, I was in my zone then. I got over the hardest bit, I got through the doubt, and I was in my zone, and I was saying to myself, I have only X amount of minutes left of pain. And the difference between saying that and saying, oh, I'm a third the way through the run, I'm saying I have X amount of minutes left of pain, and if I quit, I will always know I'm a quitter. Now what that means, I don't mean quitting. Obviously it's quitting if you just stop and you don't finish the race, but for me, quitting is not giving everything you have. For example, I knew where I was at a certain point in the race, around 4 to 5 kilometers from the finish line, where I looked at my watch and I was like, I can run 4-minute average kilometers here, and I'll run 2 hours 40 minutes. And there was a part in my head that was going, yeah, we could do that. And I was like, no. You've done all this training program for all this time. You have a YouTube channel, you've gone to France to run a marathon, and you're gonna like just give up on these last few, even though I still might have achieved my goal of running sub 240, and someone else might go, You know, that's amazing, but I will always know in my heart of hearts, I'm pointing at my head, in my heart of hearts, but I'll always know in my head that I quit. I'll always know that. You always know when you don't give it.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
What would I prefer? Half an hour of pain or a year or lifetime of me knowing I'm a quitter? 30 minutes of pain or a lifetime of pain? I know what I'm going to choose, mate. Even though it might be easier, like I get, okay, you know, I'm more comfortable if I slow my pace now. No, 30 minutes of pain and then you have a whole lifetime of gratitude and self-respect because you know you gave everything on that day. Sorry, I got a little bit animated and passionate within that last bit. But I hope this video has made absolute sense. And this is something that I didn't really think about, if I'm honest with you. But I think composing this video, this is something that analysing what I've done myself and trying to look at it not egotistical, because my ego would just tell myself, like, you're just mentally tougher than everyone else, bro. You know what I mean? You're a machine, bro. But that isn't the case. I'm not special. Honestly, I want to reiterate that I'm not. I've seen some comments on my YouTube channel saying, like, I can't imagine running at your pace. I couldn't imagine running at my pace either. I'm getting that 1% better every day. Over 100 days, I'm 100% better. That's like some kind of motivational, wooey type language. But you know what I'm trying to say? You catch my drift, don't you? In the next video, I'm going to be explaining what my carb load was. So my carb load and my race day fueling. If you want to see that, hit the notification bell, subscribe, like the video if you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you next week. And I want to say a huge thank you to all the support recently. My last marathon video has gone down very well and I hugely appreciate everyone messaged me on the video and everyone messaged me direct. I put my heart and soul into that video, man. So if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. Let me know what you think. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Peace.